Hello, everyone. Can you see me okay? Almost tripped there. Welcome to the live, where you can ask any questions you have and just say hi. Yes, I'm in Korea right now. You can hear, I don't know how well you can hear. On one side of me, you can hear cicadas, screaming really loud. And on the other side, way down at toward the lakeside, you can hear lawnmowers, which is another rare species. Let's check to see who is here in the chat. Just gonna scroll really quick to check to see who's here. Welcome everyone. Hello. Oh, thanks for coming, Arlie. My stream is going about 1 frame per second. Okay. Hopefully it won't be that bad for the whole time. Hold on. Let me just straighten that there. Okay. Yes. Let me actually give you guys. Let me give you all a better view, so you can see what we're dealing with here. Okay. Yes, we are at the Han River, also known as Hangang in Korea. Yes, you can totally hear the cicadas right now. Welcome. Yeah, it's a bit of a cloudy day. Actually, today originally it was supposed to rain. The quality looks blurry. Let me see if I can wipe the lens here. Sorry. Hope I don't give anyone a. Okay. Yes. Someone says I am blurry. I'm not sure. I can try wiping the lens again. But that's the best I can do. Hopefully it's not too bad. Pixelated. Okay. Well, I'm also not going to stay here the whole time. Yeah, it's just a connection issue. It's not Wi-Fi anyway. I'm actually going to be walking around a little bit where I am, but I wanted to start here to show you that I am by the Han River. And after a little bit, after a few more people come in, I'm going to be walking around and giving you a tour of this place that I'm in right now. Some people are asking if it's the Wi-Fi. No, it is not Wi-Fi. I am on mobile right now. It's pixelation. Okay, yeah. I can't do anything about it. I apologize. Sometimes the signal is very good, and sometimes it's not so good. I don't get 5G. I'm on, I think it's like 4G or something where I'm at. Someone said, hello from Japan. 일본에서 안녕하세요. Oh, yes. Konnichiwa. Do people swim in the Han River? That is a good question. No, you do not go swimming here. But you will see lots of people doing like boating. Let me like kind of show you. If you pay attention, actually there's a boat right over there. You can't really see it. You can't really see it too well. There was a boat that just went by over there. If there's another boat, I'll let you know. People do lots of boating around here. So it's really common to see people like on jet skis and or like little boats and stuff. There's a bigger boat that does like a kind of like a cruise I've seen go around here too. Looks quiet. I don't think it's, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Right behind me there's a large amount of cicadas screaming, and down at the underneath with the place where I'm at right now, I'm actually on kind of like an overlook. You can kind of I'm standing over the Han River. And the other side, there's a bunch of gardeners doing gardening work on my right side. Someone asked, okay, how is the weather? The weather lately is a bit strange. Today was supposed to be raining, so I wasn't sure if I would do a live stream today. But just when I checked this morning, it didn't show rain anymore. So right now, it is very humid. If you are familiar with the East Coast of United States, like New York weather, kind of like very humid and hot weather. That's what it is right now. It is not windy at all, but I wouldn't say it's too bad. I can still go outside and I can still do things, but it's not pleasant weather. I wouldn't recommend this kind of weather. This is not my favorite kind of weather, but it's not too bad. I would say if you're thinking about going to Korea and you want to have good weather, I would recommend going April, May, and June. Those are usually the safest, for the best time for the weather, in my opinion. Or if you can't do that, the other alternative would be October and November. Sometime in there is also pretty nice. 저 부산 안 가요. Someone asked if I'm going to go to Busan. I don't have any plans to go to Busan. Not for this trip. Oh yes, there's a boat. You guys see it? Yeah, you can see right there. Right there. Crush, 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 crush. We'll go down in a little bit. I'm just up here to show you the view, and then we're going to take a tour. This whole area is actually really pretty. Oh, Sasa! 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 My favorite Twitch streamer, yeah, also YouTuber, Sasa. You should check her out too. Someday I will do a collab video with Sasa, so keep an eye out for that. Yes. 어디 갈 거예요? 서울 밖으로 갈 거냐고요? Am I going to go outside of Seoul? Yes, I have already been out of Seoul many times. The quality's getting better? Okay. Tessa says, please speak Korean. 한국말 해도 되는데 그러면 여기서 알아들을 수 있는 사람이 몇 명이나 있는지 잘 모르겠어요. No collabo. Yes, 난입. Oh, I hope someday to do a collab. Maybe we'll do a VR collab. I think it'll be good. Where is this place? I bet the wind is there is no wind actually. There's no wind. Someone asks, does it rain usually there? Yes, but this year's been a bit unique. We had different weather this year. Normally this would be what's known as 장마. 장마 is the rainy season. And during rainy season, it'll usually last about 3 weeks or so, and it'll rain most days. And however, this year, I feel like rainy season already happened last month. And it was like 2 weeks long where it was just raining nonstop. And right now, during the actual rainy season, we haven't seen too much rain. I think it only rained like once, like yesterday. Like a little bit of rain here and there, yes, but not like a lot of rain like I'm used to. 날씨가 너무 우울해 보여요. The weather looks too depressing. No, I wouldn't say that. It's actually quite bright. Some days it'll be very cloudy, but the sun comes through pretty strong. So, yeah. A few weeks ago it was raining a lot, and it depends which area you're in. I heard that the south areas of Korea got a lot more rain than where I am up in Seoul. Okay, how is right now? Well, I'm still wearing a mask. You can see I'm still wearing a mask. The only times that it's okay though, you can take off your mask if you're like eating or drinking something. maybe sound. Yes, cicadas, or I guess if you're from the East Coast, cicadas. I'm not sure what's the right one. Actually, maybe it's the other way around. Are very loud. And the place I am in right now, actually, the cicadas are not so loud. Where I came from, at the entrance, they are so loud, like just all sides. I have some cicada recipes if you want some. Lynn, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask if it was still possible to help me meet who was that? Eric that you were telling me about. I don't know if it's still possible, but I'm not sure if he's in Korea either. Anyway. 근데 한국에 4등에까지 올라간 것 같아요. Do I think that 올라가긴 했어요. 네, 올라갔어요. Email me. Okay, I'll send you an email. I'll try to remember that as soon as I get home today. 당신의 유튜브 채널은 제가 가장 좋아하는 한국어 공부 방법 중 하나입니다. Your channel is one of my favorite Korean study methods. Thank you. Oh, it's hot. The thing is, let me put this back on. Okay. Wow, the quality is kind of blurry and pixely. Yes, that's because where I am, it doesn't have very good signal. So I'm not on Wi-Fi. I wish I were. There is actually Wi-Fi here somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Have you been to Singapore? No, I have not. I don't actually know what I was gonna say, I don't know what Singapore is. No, I know what it is. I've never been there. I don't really know what there is, so I don't know much about it. I know that a lot of Koreans do go to Singapore, though. It's a popular place for like kind of like a trip because it's not too far from Korea. It's not too expensive to go there. So I heard that's kind of popular for people to go there for like a short trip, but I've never been there yet. Okay, someone asks, what is your favorite K-pop group? I don't have a favorite K-pop group, but I do have lots of Korean music I like, but I wouldn't say I would have a favorite K-pop group. I don't listen to too much K-pop actually, so I don't really know that much. I'm from Pennsylvania and hearing cicadas. I don't know, what do we say? Do you say cicadas? What else is there? I know cicadas, and I can understand if people say cicadas. I don't say either because I'm from Los Angeles and I didn't know what they were before I moved to another place. When are we going to see your video of collaboration? My collab with Korean Dream. Yeah. With Jay. That one, I have to edit it when I go back to the US. So you say cicadas. Cicadas, okay. So I have to edit it when I get back to the US. So the earliest it could possibly be, I think, would be like the end of next month. So it might be a little later than that. I would say sometime like October, November is more realistic because I have to edit a lot of other stuff first. Team cicadas. Cicadas. I think they both sound weird to me. I don't know the answer. Like another word is data and data. I guess I say data, but I hear a lot of people say data too, so I'm not sure which is the right one. My Korean coworker has a hard time understanding my pronunciation when we speak. I have an East Coast accent. That's not a problem. I have a Los Angeles accent. So if you can learn from your accent, if I can learn from my accent, you can learn from your accent. Everyone has an accent from wherever you're from. There's no one without an accent trying to learn a foreign language. It will affect your Korean just the same way that my Los Angeles accent affected my Korean in the beginning. So I would just pronounce things with my Los Angeles accent, and you'll pronounce things with your, East Coast accent of Philadelphia or whatever. If you had a Boston accent, you'd be like, 안녕하세요, like you talk more like, Boston person. But that's just something you learn. You get better at pronouncing Korean, and it's not going to be a problem for you once you've gotten enough exposure. If you speak Korean, no one will know where you came from necessarily if you speak it well. Potato versus potato. Yes. I'm Scottish, so there's that. I actually don't know a Scottish accent. That's what I feel like that's how Scottish people must talk. They must be really angry and be like, all right, I'm Scottish. Is that anything close? No. I'm joking. I have no clue what Scottish sounds like, actually. I think I can understand it, but I don't think I'd be able to distinguish it very much. Oh, Sam. Hey. You're a Korean Sam. We actually filmed a video here together just a few days ago. Just a few days ago. We did a collaboration video here. And yes, that will be uploaded also sometime after I go back to the States. What's your favorite food there? And Korean snack recommendations. Okay, I think I can put these two questions together. My favorite food, if I have to pick one, I always say sundae. But if I get to pick as many as I want, well then I really like most food. Favorite snack, if you want a snack you can actually procure outside of Korea, the easiest one to get is 새우깡. 새우깡 is very good, easy to buy, and even among other Korean snacks, it's still a top tier snack. It's not like you're not settling for anything when you get 새우깡. And yeah, very easy to get outside of Korea. Forrest! Hey, Forrest. How long did it take for you to learn and speak Korean? I've been learning for like 16 years. What's your... Oh, I missed something. Okay. Have you seen any K-pop actor? Yes, I have. Not today, though. How do you pronounce... I see, that's another one. I can say both caramel or caramel. I think if I was saying, like, just talking with my family, I would say it's got, like, caramel. But caramel sounds fine, too. I don't really care about that. Same with, like, ketchup or catsup. Like, I don't really care. Oh, actually, no. Catsup sounds weird to me, but I can hear either. I can say either, I guess. You hear that? Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about down there. They're probably like talking about me or something. Oh, it stopped. Isn't it? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Sorry, Amanda. These are the things that we do on my stream. I tried learning Korean in 24 hours and well, I can't read that. Sorry. Yeah, I think they heard. They're like, okay, all right, I'm out of here. What's your favorite quote? I don't have a favorite quote. Quotes don't keep me going. Billy, the way you say ketchup sounds like, oh yeah, some people do say it like catsup. Like I said, I don't say that way, but I've heard people use that before. It's also an accepted pronunciation of ketchup. Okay, I think it would be fun if we took a little walk around here because you've all seen this nice view right now, of course. So I think we should go for a little walk together. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, let's take a little walk. I'm going to put away my tripod and I'm going to take out, I have a little selfie stick. I think it'd be better if we could take a little walk around the area. So hold on. While I'm getting set up though, you can still keep asking questions. So I got a little selfie stick. Put the camera on here. I mean oops. Someone asked, did you get a haircut? Wow, you noticed. Despite, even though I'm wearing a hat, you somehow still noticed that I had gotten a haircut. Okay. Serkabong. Serkabong is selfie stick in Korean. Okay, hold on. There we go. What is this? Oh, I don't want these filters. Okay, so we can, hold on. I think this will work. Yes. Okay, this looks like it's gonna work. So first I gotta put away my tripod though because I don't want to just leave it out here. So let me just stick this right here. Okay. Oops, hopefully that doesn't fall over. This is like the cheapest selfie stick though in the world. You can see it's like leaning over. I think like a small breeze would bump it over onto the floor. Oh, I can't get 5G actually anyway. Because the service I'm using doesn't allow 5G. It'll do up to 4G, so it's like okay if it works well, but it doesn't go up to 5G. Let's see, I found Korean pronunciation to be pretty easy. However, I have a hard time. Okay, I'm just reading some of your comments. Feel free to keep talking. I'm still reading. Have you visited? I don't know what that building is. Okay, we're gonna go take a little walk. Because this place, the place that I'm at right now actually, which is near the Han River, as you can see, it's a really pretty park here, and there's a lot of stuff that you can see. think we are good. Your voice sounds so perfect for a narrator. I've heard that before. Okay. So let's go walking around. Okay, let's get this position. Can we get this position like that? There we go. There we go. Okay. Can you still hear me fine? You still see me fine? We are taking a walk around this park now. I know it's old, but I enjoy your Busan dialect video. It's not that old. I think it's like a couple years, maybe two years. Okay. Yes, here, yes. See, okay, yeah, I understand. I mean, I can see perfectly, but I understand you won't be able to see too well unless the signal is good. Okay, actually, this is a little far away. Let me bring this closer. Okay, I wasn't able to read any of your comments. Okay, now I can see them. Yes. Let's check out where we are. Does anyone know where we are? Only one person has guessed so far, and that's because I was here with her just a few days ago, so she knew where I was. Anyone guess where we are? Any other guesses? Somewhere in Hangang. Yes, it is somewhere at Hangang. That is correct. A park. It is a park near the Han River. It's not normally, though, what people consider to be Hangang, but it is very close to there. Seoul. Yes, it is Seoul. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you where I am. Sunyu Gongwon, Sunyu Park, or Sunyu Island Park. The guy is making like wolf sounds. I'm serious, he's like calling out. Okay. All right then, let's get out of there. No, I don't want to call back. No, like I was streaming over up here. You can hear that. That's the guy. We need to get out of here before he attacks. Okay. What would you call a cicada? Korean cicadas are memi. Yeah, I think he was barking. It was weird. I set up my tripod and this guy walks up really close to me, like maybe just like 20 feet away from me. And then there's like a huge area, so he doesn't have to be right next to me. And he's just standing there with his mask off, kind of like staring out into the river. It was like weird. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, whatever. I mean, it's not my park. I can't tell him to leave. And as soon as I leave, he's like, starts calling out. Like that or something. I don't know. Contemplating life. I don't know what he was doing. Anyway, we escaped there. Okay. What are some... I don't know. No, I don't think it's creepy. It was just kind of funny. I don't know. Some people have their own ways of relaxing. I like to, sip tea and sit on the couch, and that guy, I guess, likes to shout out like a wolf. Okay. Running Man filmed here before. Yeah, I'm sure Running Man has filmed here. Probably everywhere has filmed here. This is a popular spot, actually, for doing like, people will come here for photography a lot. People will do wedding photos here a lot, as well as what I've heard is cosplay groups will also meet here and take photos, because there are lots of really pretty places that you can stop and take photos here. Not just here, but we're gonna walk around. I'll show you some of the stuff. Make sure we're okay on time. Yes. I'll do this live until I think about noon, and then that'll be good. Same as last time. Okay. And again, I didn't say this yet, but thank you for everyone else who came in. Maybe I said at the very beginning. Thank you for everyone who's joining the stream today. Unfortunately, I can't do my regular weekly streams like I can in the US, but I still enjoy these streams anyway, and I'll try to do at least one more stream before I leave Korea. Okay. Someone asks, do you have Korean friends? Yes. Yes, I have some Korean friends. A few. I know a lot of Korean people, but friends, I do have some friends. Okay. Actually, I wonder if there's a I'm gonna cross over this bridge here. There's like a little bridge over here that I'll show you. It's right over here. We're gonna go down this way. See here? Oh, isn't this pretty? Look at this. Okay, we're going across to the other side via a little, it's not even really like a bridge, it's like a pathway, but it does kind of go through water areas, so. I have to be careful though, because last time I was here, I saw a snake. Well, actually, I didn't see a snake. The friend I was with saw a snake. I just kept walking, apparently. I didn't see it. Yeah, sometimes snakes are here. There's even a bunch of signs that say like, snakes might appear, so be careful. You know, watch out for snakes. Look, isn't this pretty? Look at that walkway. Make sure you watch out then. Yeah, I'm looking for snakes. I don't want to. Snick. I don't want to step on any snicks. Snick. Okay. It's like a nice, like a little covered place. No step on snick. Hey, Evan. So, are there a lot of spiders? Oh yeah, there are lots of spiders here. You bet. This place just screams like spider home, doesn't it? Like, I will get you. But don't come here at night, is what they're telling me. What kind of snakes would be around here? I don't know, because I didn't see it. But I would guess just like, you know, garden snakes. You know, nothing bad. There's not going to be like some like anaconda that's going to like grab me and pull me into the ocean or anything like that. It's like, they're like tiny garden snakes, I'm sure. Okay. Check this out. This was a water valve for collecting, I guess for rainwater they had over here. I didn't read the sign, I just looked at it. 빗물 방류 밸브. Yeah. So for rainwater as like a little valve. Because this island I'm on is actually used for, originally is used for water filtration, like filtering water for Korea. So this is an older one. I'm sure they're not using this one anymore. This is retired. A water valve. So my guess is, yeah. So this would open and close, and they can let water in through this large tunnel through here. Someone asked, is Korea open for travel? Technically, yes. However, if you want to come to Korea, you still have to do quarantine for 2 weeks. That's what I did. In order to come here, I quarantined for 2 weeks. And there are still lots of restrictions. So if you're looking for a fun vacation, like a casual vacation, right now is not the best time. I would wait a little bit longer, perhaps the end of the year at least, or maybe early next year. It'll be a lot easier for you to do the things that you want to do, but it's still possible. And as you can see, I'm here. Okay, let's see. Like the trees in the background. Yes, there are lots of trees around here. You can see all the trees. Go over here. I hope to come in 2023. That would be great. Yeah, 2023, I'm sure you'll have no problem traveling around. In fact, I think even early next year is going to be, everything's going to be mostly back to normal in Korea. That's my guess, though. I don't know, but that's my guess. Where are you right now? Someone else can type it, but I'm at Sunyu Gongwon. Okay, though if I if I keep going, there's really nothing back there, so I'm gonna kind of go back. Originally, now this is an island, but you can see the Han River on both sides. I can kind of show you. Some birds here. Bird just hanging out. What's up, bird? Hey, bird. Burp, burp, burp. You can see the Han River on both sides. I'm not sure if you can. There you go. Yeah, and on the other side you can see it too. Originally, though, it was not an island. Historically, at least this is what I learned from looking at the sign. They have information. Originally, this wasn't an island. It was actually connected to the land. So this wasn't called Sunyu Island historically. But as far as I could learn, it doesn't seem to have much historical significance. It was just a mound of like a hill of land, and that's pretty much it. And then they used it for water filtering, and that's pretty much it. I was hoping there would be like history, like, oh, this place was used as like the battlefield for this battle or something like that. But no, it's like water filtration, pretty much. You can go to jail if you take. No, that's not going to happen. But you can get a fine. There are these announcements. Okay, let me go back on the road. I don't think I should be walking around over the grass so much. Just says like, don't feed the animals. Make sure to wear your mask. Please use the facilities. Keep them clean. Just pretty much basic stuff like that. Climb a tree. Climb a tree. Yeah, I don't think we're doing that today. Do you live in Seoul or just visit? No, I do not. I mean, technically, no. I live in the US, but I do have a place I can stay here. I have an apartment I can stay here in Korea whenever I come. And I'm in Korea about a third of each year. So 3 to 4 months or so each year, I'm in Korea. So I guess I live in the US, but I also have a home in Korea. So both. Do you know if Korea is a good place to find environmental science-based jobs? I wouldn't know that. Okay, now you can hear cicadas again. And that announcement keeps going off. It'll repeat, I think, like 2-3 times, and then it'll stop for like maybe 10 minutes, and then it'll go again. It'll be on loop. Okay, finally. What was I talking about? Okay. Oh yeah, jobs. Most of the jobs you can get here are going to be simpler. They're going to be something like English teacher. If you want to get a job that's not as an English teacher, your best bet is to work at a startup company where they might hire someone just for speaking English. But unless your Korean is perfect, there is no reason they would want to hire a non-Korean unless you're like very skilled at something. If you want to get a job with good pay without speaking too much Korean and live in Korea, the only way you can do that I know of is to work at an American company, to be very good at your job that has a branch in Korea, because then you can potentially transfer to another branch and work in Korea. And I know some people who've done that. Otherwise, there's not very many chances for getting a job in Korea. Hold on, there's like a little golf cart coming. I don't want to be in his way. Okay. Gotta get that job at Samsung. Yeah, if you work at Samsung, that might have a chance too. You could work in the US and be really good at your job and be indispensable, and then somehow transfer to Korea. You'll keep your pay. You'll probably get paid even more. You won't be expected to speak any more Korean than you already do. I mean, you might need to have fluent Korean, but then they could transfer you to live in Korea. That could work. But if you're just looking for a regular, like, you know, you don't have a lot of job experience, you just kind of want a job in Korea, the easiest way is to come over as an English teacher. And a lot of people do that. Do people own cars there or mostly take public transportation? A lot of people do have cars, but the thing is, unless you need to travel around all at once, most people will just prefer to use the public transportation, at least in Seoul. But if you're in smaller cities, there will be a higher percentage of people that drive because you need a car. Because in the smaller cities, although they have public transportation, and although it's still really good, it's not as good as simply driving somewhere. So I think you'll find a lot, if you go to a smaller city, so anywhere that's not Seoul, you'll find a lot more people that have cars. Even though they do also take the bus and subway and stuff like that, they will also have cars for when they need to get to, say, the grocery store. You don't want to buy a bunch of groceries and then hop on the bus and have to carry those home. You want to drive to get that. So yeah, I think people will have cars even if they don't use them all the time. I wonder if cicadas are doing social distancing right now. No, I'm sure they're not. Neither are they wearing tiny masks. That would be super cute though. But no, I don't think they have any idea what's going on. How long does it take to go to Korea? That will depend completely on where you're at. So I would recommend checking the airline and finding out how long the flights take. From Los Angeles, it's about 12 hours or so. But then you also have to include the time to get to the airport, you know, to get to your place. So yeah, it's different everywhere. They've been living under a rock for like 7 years. Yeah, that's true. Now they're hippies. They're all hanging out in the trees right now. So can't really bug the cicadas about anything. They're not going to be any help. Okay. Buy something to eat and start a mukbang. No, there isn't. You're not supposed to be eating outside. At least here. You can drink stuff though, but you're supposed to try to keep your mask on. Unless you're like legitimately sitting down and eating, not just to hang out and talk with people. Let's see. Listening only helps after learning Hangul, some grammar, etc. Listening. It'll help more after you've learned those things, yes. Okay. I don't understand mukbang. Yeah, I haven't really done any either. How long do you think it takes to reach a somewhat casual conversational level? That will also depend. I have a video actually, how long does it take to learn Korean? It's of course one of the most common questions I get. And it will completely depend on how much you're studying, how you're studying, and everything like that. There is no easy answer for it. Anyone that tries to say it'll take about this much time is speaking about a specific situation. I can't generalize it without giving you a wrong answer. Some people have learned conversational Korean in a few months. Some people have taken years, and it doesn't mean one of them is better than the other. It just depends on the person and depends on their situation, you know, what age they start learning, how they're learning. Switching my bag to my other shoulder. You know, all that stuff. There isn't really an easy way to give an answer to that. Is it true that you're likely to adapt? Oh, I didn't see that. The comment went disappeared. What were they saying? The habits of one of the teaching you Korean or any other language. You'll adapt whatever habits are of whoever it is that you're speaking Korean with the most. That's just a given. So if you have a Korean girlfriend and that's the only person who practices Korean with you, you're going to speak like her. That's just how it works. So you want to spend as much time as possible with a variety of people. That way you get you get to hear a lot of different types. And like for me, I don't feel like I'm imitating anyone. I feel like I'm just myself when I speak Korean now. It's really nice. Don't you guys think this is pretty nice? Okay, now we're on the other side of the Han River. Someone said, one thing that's certain is romanization does not help. Yes, that's true. Romanization does not help. Where is your teddy bear? Asks Jasmine. You're talking about Kikat. Unfortunately, I regret, Kit Kat was a bit tired this morning and she decided to sleep. She's been asleep now for the past, I think like a week and a half. She'll wake up soon. But yeah, she's sleeping right now back at the house. In my suitcase, actually, she's sleeping. How long has it been since you were introduced to the Korean culture? I guess you're asking me how long have I been learning Korean for? It's been 16 years. Yeah, Kikat needs her beauty sleep. If she doesn't get enough sleep, her fur will all be like crazy and she'll be extra mad. And you don't want to see Kikat when she's really mad. Sure, she's not suffocated. No, I think she'll be fine. Okay. I wonder if that guy is still making wolf sounds over up there. Hibernation time. Yes, I guess it's hibernation in the summer. She hibernates like 360 days a year, so I don't really blame her. Okay. When do you feel like you've gained fluency in Korean? It's all different. I feel like sometimes I gain different levels of fluency. So, when I was living in Korea, after a few months, I felt like, oh, I can express most of the stuff I want. But none of it was in the way that I wanted to. Then a few years later, I felt like, oh, now I can express, most of what I want in the way I want to say it. But there really isn't a definition of fluency. It's whatever you want to call it. It's whatever anyone else wants to call it. If you're comfortable in that language, you're fluent in it. If you can say whatever you want in the way you want to say, you're fluent. You don't have to be perfect. So there really isn't a time when you reach a level of fluency. It's whatever you feel comfortable with calling fluent. Because some people can say that you can get fluent in, a year. But can that person discuss, more complicated issues? Could you go to the doctor's office and communicate with the doctor? Probably not. So then does that mean they're not fluent? No, they're just not fluent in that specific type of thing. So there isn't really an answer to any of that sort of thing without giving a generalization, which I try not to do. I think the wolf is gone. Yeah, I'm not going to go back up here again. That's where we started. I'm going to walk over somewhere else now. Let's walk to the center of the area here. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to read most of your comments. I apologize if I don't get everything though. Mary Kate says, I lived in Korea for 3 months and was taking Korean classes 5 days a week while I was there, and I did, it cut off. I'm not sure what you're saying. Yeah, Small, there was a Korean man who was, I guess, like howling into the Han River. It was great. Luvia asks, I just want to ask, how old are you? Oh, not how old are you? How are you? Sorry. I was like, how old I am? Okay, I misread it. How are you? I'm doing very good. Do you think learning to read and write Korean, let's see what Manpret Betty says, do you think learning to read and write Korean is important before beginning with the understanding of the concepts of the language? Yes. The very first thing you should do is learn how to read and write. I can't imagine trying to learn any single grammar rule without knowing how to read and write the language. So, yeah. Yeah, the wolf guy left. I guess it's no longer a full moon, so Really, really elusive. Okay. The wolf is going to sneak up on. I hope not. Someone asks, what are you doing in Korea now? Holiday? Hold on, that was Trinley. Yes. I'm just here, film videos. Billy, a nature documentary channel. Yes, I am. Is that Steve Irwin? So I'm Billy Irwin. Right, everyone, let's go take a look down here. Oh, crikey, some beautiful butterflies. And I'll stop that before anyone who is remotely Australian comes in here and grills me. 환경 도시. So the environment classroom. I'm not sure. This might be like some activities room. Yeah, I think it is, but it's closed. As an Australian, I apologize, Kat. I'm sorry for that. I was hoping you wouldn't hear that. Still, though, it's better than my British English impression or any of my other impressions. So, Steve Irwin, yes, may he rest here forever. Did you have to quarantine when you arrived in Korea? Yes, I did. For 2 weeks, I did quarantine. Okay, let's see where we're going here. Can I ask, how did you get to the island? Would you believe me if I said that I swam here? No? Okay, well, your best craft punk. Did you know I cannot die? Okay, how was the quarantine? How was, it was really boring. I don't recommend it. Next question. Yes, it was very boring. There's not really anything to talk about, I guess. You just wait 2 weeks in a room and you do nothing. Yes, welcome. I see a lot of new people are here. Feel free to ask any questions, including Korean questions. Oh, Korean Dream. Hey, Korean Dream. Welcome. 오랜만이네요. Would you visit Busan or Jeju? I have been there. I used to live in Busan. And I wanted to visit Jeju this trip. Unfortunately, I think it would be difficult for me to go this trip just because of the situation. It's probably best that I don't travel to Jeju this trip, but it's on my list, and I'd like to do a trip there again. 만나고 여기서 보니까 더 반가워요. 매미 소리. Yeah, the cicada sounds. They're so loud, huh? Well, right now you can just hear birds. Where's that bird? Okay. Have you ever, Evolving Brain asks, have you ever met anyone that you felt could or should not learn Korean? No. There's no reason. Like, that would be like if I felt someone shouldn't speak. I mean, there have been people that I've met that I wouldn't want to encourage to learn Korean because they seem to not really want to do that. Like, maybe they don't understand that it's a challenge to do it, but I wouldn't ever tell someone not to learn Korean. That's not really my decision to make. Anyone can learn whatever language they want. Do you only have one shirt? Yes, unfortunately, I only have one shirt. I have to wash it. I have to wash my shirt shirtless, wait for it to dry, and then put it right back on. It's very difficult washing my shirt 365 times a year. No, I have lots of these shirts. They're all the same though. Like a little bit different. Like this hat is one of the many hats that I have. Haircut reveal. Okay, we can see I got a haircut. You can see what it looks like. That's pretty much it. It's short, and now it's all smashed because I'm wearing this hat, so it doesn't even look nice. Okay. Look at this. Isn't this all pretty? Well, let's walk this way. Any recommendation like dictionary for the meaning of Korean words? I recommend Naver Dictionary. There it is, the first Charlie comment. Is there Charlie comment? Did I get another Charlie? Oh, Charlie Puth. Yeah, it's either Charlie Puth or Andy Samberg. That's the one that I hear a lot lately. Those two. Guess the comments. Guess the no. I don't think the comments are blocked. They should show. They should still show up after you see the live stream. They just don't appear as comments. They'll appear on the side of the screen as a chat. So if you watch it full screen, you won't see any of the comments. You'll have to look at them with the chat window. Teeny asks, will you come out with your own merchandise? Yes, I have some. You can check out my merchandise actually on the description of the video description. It has a link to where you can get it. It's on like Teespring, or maybe they renamed their website to Spring or something. But yeah, it's in the description. You can click the link, and I do have some stuff. No, Billy, we were talking about something else. Oh, okay. Charlie Puth. Okay, yeah, there it is. I don't really see the resemblance very much, but I'll accept it. I mean, why not? It's good, right? Charlie Puth he's okay. He can sing much higher than me though. I cannot sing that high at all. I think I'm too old to know who Charlie. That's okay. I actually didn't really know who he was either. But I started hearing people say I look like him, and then I'm like, oh, I see. He has the voice of a majestic unicorn. Yes, I think that's an accurate description. Isn't this park really pretty? Don't you all want to visit here? This is my first time, this trip to Korea, it's my first time ever visiting this park. I've heard about it, but I never visited before. So I came here my first time just a few days ago, and this was my second time here. It's really nice. I think it's a great place to come if you want to take photos in Korea, like you want some nature photos. If you're not from Korea though, I think it would be a nice place to come just to kind of walk around if you want to just take a walk somewhere. And it's actually not that busy. Even though I came here close to the weekend, it wasn't in like lunchtime, it wasn't busy. And today, of course, it's not very busy. So especially right now, it's just a nice place to kind of walk around by yourself and, think, sit down, relax. Someone says, which park is it? It's Sunyu 공원. And it's right next to Hangang in Seoul. Someone said, hold on, someone asked me about BTS. Okay, your name, I can't read it. I know you refer to BTS in your videos sometimes. Are you an ARMY? No, I don't think I'm an ARMY. I don't dislike, of course, I don't dislike any K-pop groups or anything, but I don't listen to much K-pop. So I like them in the sense that I really appreciate all that they're doing for Korea, and I respect them greatly for that. But I actually don't know most of their music. I've only heard a few of their songs. Like I've heard Dynamite, and then like I think Spring Day or something like that. But I only know a few of their songs. So I wouldn't say I'm an ARMY, but I wouldn't say I'm like not a fan or anything like that. I just don't know them. I don't know, but it's the same for any group. I don't really know much about K-pop. Yeah, Spring Day, is that right? Or are you crying because it's the wrong title? I don't know. Like I said, I've known of them before they got super big in Korea, but I don't follow any specific K-pop group. Homnar, yes, that's right. Do you listen to or enjoy trot? I have listened to a lot of trot. I enjoy some of it, but I'm not a trot fan either. If any Korean music, if I'm a fan of any kind of Korean music, I would say it would be hip hop. I'm familiar with a good amount of more popular Korean hip hop music, but not so much pop. Okay. This is so pretty. Like, I know I'm showing you like the view while I'm walking, but the view that I'm seeing is also really nice. What's your favorite music genre? Ah, honestly, not songs with lyrics. My favorite would be I listen to a lot of soundtrack music. I consider myself a movie buff. I really like movies, so I listen to soundtracks. TV show soundtracks are okay. Game soundtracks are okay. Movie soundtrack, like lots of movie soundtracks. But most of it doesn't have lyrics. Sometimes it does. Usually it doesn't. So I would say I'm a soundtrack fan. That's my favorite. That's what I would actively listen to because when I'm doing video editing or writing for videos, I can't listen to lyrics. It's distracting to me. So I end up listening to stuff without lyrics, and that tends to be lots of soundtrack music. Do you know about the importance of Hanbok in Korea? Yeah, Hanbok is traditional Korean clothing that people would wear. There are lots of kinds of Hanbok. It's not like one Hanbok is every Hanbok. There were Hanbok for every sort of occasion, every kind of person. You know, there were like casual Hanbok for like regular people, typically like white color, and then there were like fancier Hanbok, you know, for people who are like, you know, in respected positions. There were Hanbok for like entertainers, Hanbok for pretty much everything. So there's lots of different types of Hanbok. I have worn a few kinds before. Like they have rentals where you can try them on. It's pretty fun. I definitely recommend trying that. Is it okay for foreign? And yes, it is totally fine for a foreigner to wear one. If you wear a Hanbok, Koreans will love it. They think they like that other people are experiencing and enjoying and appreciating their culture. You will get stares if you wear a Hanbok, but they are like curious. What's the word? They're out of curiosity. They're curious at what you're doing, and they're happy. So you'll get lots of stares, and it's fun. So yeah, I definitely recommend trying wearing a Hanbok, renting one. They're not expensive when you visit Korea. Thanks for your books and videos. I'm a huge fan of your YouTube channel. I'm really happy you give me the motivation I need. Oh, thanks. That's a nice comment, Allison. What languages do you know besides Korean? Everyone asks this. I have studied a total of 6 languages in my life, but Korean is the one that I confidently say that I can speak. And of course, English. I did study Japanese. 日本語も 3年間勉強しましたが、韓国の方が上手です. I can speak like, it's like, now I'd say it's like beginner level for how I sound. At one point, I was intermediate at Japanese, and I can still understand quite a lot, but it's not a level I could teach, and it's not a level that I would be able to have lots of conversations. They would be like, very simple conversations in Japanese are fine. Basic Japanese, like anything you would see in like YouTube lessons, that's fine. I'm good with that. But anything beyond that is above me. So I did French for 5, almost 6 years, but I can't speak French. But I can understand quite a bit of basic French. And then I did Mandarin and Cantonese each for a few months. Yeah, my Japanese would definitely have a Korean accent now. I am French. Oh, bonjour. Je suis Billy. J'apprends la coréenne et j'aime la France. I was like trying not to go into like, you know, saying baguette and fromage and everything, but I can't speak French really. It's the lowest level possible. So yeah, but 5.5 years or so, it did c'est parfait. That's a lie. it is enough that I can understand basic French because I was exposed to it so much, but not speak it. 더 죽겠다. Steam die. Steam? Oh, yeah. It's very humid today. I forgot the. I can't even remember the word for hot in French. But if you said it, I would know if it's French. Like which ones. I think like Seoul. Seoul is cold and like. I don't even remember the word for hot. Is that right? Seoul. I was like, see, I can't even remember the most basic words. But if someone else says it to me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know what that means. I could translate. So yeah. And that's just because although I did French for 5.5 years, I never had a reason to use it. I didn't have any French friends. Seoul I think would be cold, right? Anyway, I didn't have any French friends, so I didn't have any opportunities to use it. Otherwise, I think I would have gotten, decent at it because I was doing it for a long time. Seoul is hot. Okay, see, that tells you my French level. Froid. That's right. Froid is cold, of course. The first thing I thought of when I thought of hot was actually that word, Seoul. But I'm like, wait, isn't Seoul cold? Like that was what just came to my mind. I knew it must be wrong. Okay, froid. Yeah, that's right. Froid is cold. C'est pas froid. C'est très chaud. Why is the park so empty? There are other people, but they're not in the same areas as me, and I'm trying to avoid also. I'm kind of walking around. If I see someone else, I'm kind of avoiding putting them in the camera as much as possible. But this park just isn't that crowded lately. So I think it's great. I think if this were crowded, it wouldn't be half as cool. Okay, let's put this down for a bit. Oh, hey, drink some water. Is that fog? I think, yeah, it's just cloud. Is it cold here? No, it is quite hot actually. It's not like burning hot or anything, but it is quite hot. Ayakata, could you please speak in your normal way of talking? This is how I normally speak when I'm talking with someone else that I'm not familiar with. Like if I'm speaking with a stranger or just, recording something. But if I were speaking with my family or a close friend, I would be speaking, it would be like this, just much faster. But I'd rather not because I don't know. I want to make sure everyone can hear me. Like my normal speaking voice is going to be a little bit more like this, like a little bit faster. A little bit harder to understand, I think. But I don't really speak like that unless I'm, like I said, with a family member or like a really close friend. Then I'll speak faster. Otherwise, it's, slower like this so that people can actually understand what I'm saying. I am right-handed. I think 90% of people are right-handed, I guess. Any tips? Well, let me put my mask back on. Actually, a lot of people I see walking around here without masks, but we're going to set the example. We're going to set a good example. We should be wearing masks right now to help everyone out, especially in public. I'm not eating, not drinking, so masks are good. Do you have a pet rather than Kikat? No, I only have Kikat. No hablo español. Running Man just reached its 11th year yesterday, though. Okay, that's cool. I've never watched Running Man except for like a few highlight clips here and there. Danny asks, a good question. Hi, Billy, would you ever make a Korean lesson in Korean? No, because if you need a Korean lesson, I want to make sure that the student can understand me as much as possible. So I wouldn't do that. Also, I think the best, if you want to learn a lesson in Korean, the best way to do it would be in Korean from a Korean. The benefit that I can offer is doing it in English. And no, so I wouldn't try to do one in Korean. Let me just turn this a little bit. I don't want to, the family that just came in, I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. Ambidextrous, that's really cool. One. Could you please suggest some resources to polish my speaking skills? For speaking, I would say the best resource that you have is your Korean friends to get better at speaking. While doing that, you can keep studying with whatever resources you're using, but you really want to get speaking practice to get better at speaking. You're not going to get better at speaking simply by reading books or by writing. You get better at speaking by having conversations with other people. What's your favorite place in Korea? Will you ever make a video? I don't have a favorite place in Korea. I just kind of like wherever I am. Someone said, will you ever make a video where you speak Japanese? I saw on your website. Some. Yes, some. Like I said, on a good day now, I would be like low intermediate on a good day. My understanding, though, is not too bad. I can understand quite a lot because I learned it for a long time. But I don't use it anymore, so my speaking is deteriorating every year. And now if I speak, I also have a stronger Korean accent if I speak Japanese. Which is understandable, because I don't use Japanese anymore. Hangugo. I was like trying to read your name. Hanguk Ao? Thank you, your 2-hour live lessons are so helpful. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Your video quality is quite low. I think it's the area. I think this place right here has lower video quality. So let me try to move a bit. I'm going to move to somewhere, see if we can find better video quality by moving back over here. Allison, good question. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. I think the actual situation should get better early next year. I don't think you'll have to wait till the end of the year. Don't quote me on that, but that is my opinion. That by the end of this year, early next year, it'll be much easier to get in and out of Korea. Yeah, I'm gonna move just down here. Maybe that'll be better. I think there's something about that area that just doesn't have great. 돼지갈비? 그게 질문이라고요? 그거? 당연한 거 아니야? 돼지갈비를 좋아하냐니. Oh yeah. Sasa, you're still here. Hey. Sasa asked if I like 돼지갈비, so like pork ribs. I don't understand how that is a question. Of course. Yeah, I think just up here, it's the Wolfman. I tell you, it's the Wolfman's influence. He is absorbing the Wi-Fi signal, the internet signal, and that's why we couldn't have good signal over there. So I came down here. Hopefully this is better. I'm gonna sit down and continue from here because this looks really pretty. So I think we can just sit down here. Let's see, where's good? Maybe like right here. Yeah, I think it's the Wolfman, really. There we go. Nice. Let's hang out here for a second. That's kind of nice. 늑대 인간. 늑대 인간. That's pretty funny. Sorry if you, okay, Dan Stolen Work asks, sorry if you answered already, but what are the restrictions like? It's not the highest level, it's level 4 right now, but there's a lot of little individual things that are restricted, and it's not everything. It's less than you think and more than you think. So I would just research the actual, try to find there's like an infographic about it because it changes often. Is that place still Suwon? No. Right now I am at Sunyu-do Gongwon. Sunyu Island, which is off near Hangan, the Han River. So I am not in Suwon right now. Got some, wipe my hands here a bit. Carry around hand sanitizer, pretty useful. Any tips on retaining the Korean that I already learned? That's a good question. Using it. If you don't use it, you will forget it. And sometimes if you are, like even for me, when I first returned back from Korea, and I wasn't using it very much, I didn't really talk very much Korean, I didn't have very many Korean friends. So I was quickly forgetting a lot of the Korean I used. And it would even be like where I would start speaking Korean and it wouldn't come into my head right away. I would have to like think hard about it. So I felt like, oh no, I need to get this back. So then I started working hard to study harder again. So yeah, if you don't use it, you will lose it. That's typically what they say. I think I'll do streaming for just about like 20 minutes or so, and then we'll stop for today. Molly says, in 1950s Korea, eating was such a concern that people said, 밥 먹었어? They still use that greeting, but now there's a huge push for people to be skinny, especially idle. Why did the shift happen? Those are unrelated. The 밥 먹었어, 밥 먹었어요, like those sorts of expressions, 식사하셨어요, did you eat? Those are, of course, yes, related to after the Korean War. Being skinny as an idol, that's unrelated to that. That is simply because they want the production company wants their idols to have a certain image, because they want as many fans as possible to like them, so that they'll usually pick whatever they think most of their audience, their target audience, will want. So that's unrelated to that. 더 많은 빌리의 방송 수업이 정말 필요가 있어요. There is a need for many more. Okay. Well, I will be doing more live streams. Oops, I don't want to drop my phone there. When I go back to the States, so next month, the middle of next month, I'm going to start doing my live streams again weekly. So for those, we'll be doing regular classes again. So I'll put out a vote as soon as I get back to the US, and we'll start doing those weekly again. In Korea, though, I will do at least one more of these live streams before I go back to the US. So also stay tuned for that. I'm going to guess 2 or 3 weeks from today, there will be one more live stream in a different location. Last time was in Suwon. This time is at the Han River. Next time, I'll pick someplace different, someplace fun. And I'll see you there as well. Okay, let's see here. 좋은 시간 보내십시오. Thank you. Pookie Kins asks, are you going to release any more books? Let's see, I have right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 books if you include the collaboration that I did with Talk to Me in Korean. Common Mistakes Korean Learners Make. So I have 6 books. I do have plans to make a couple more this year, as well as another one next year, but I'm not announcing those yet. I'll let you know when they get closer to release. So yes, I'm planning on making more books. I also am planning on making more general courses on my YouTube. So you'll see more news about that as it gets closer. I'm going to be doing another 1 or 2 more courses on my YouTube channel, like the 100 video episode that you saw, kind of like that, but not so big, a little bit smaller, but still useful, I promise. I have already written it, mostly. I just have to write the actual scripts for it, which I will also do when I get back to the States. So you can expect another series, maybe sometime before the end of the year. Of course, I'll post about that. Okay, I really prefer the ebook versions. I find them more convenient. Okay, that's fine. I made ebook versions because for people like you who prefer ebooks. Me, though, personally, I prefer print. I find it's much easier to study when I have a print book. Angel George asks, will I be able to speak some Korean after I finish all of the beginner course playlists? Yes, the first episode actually tells you exactly what you will learn, and you will learn all of those things. You will not be fluent in Korean. You will be able to have very basic conversations if, of course, if you are practicing everything that's in those lessons. If you simply watch them back to back, you're not going to be speaking Korean by the end of it. But if you're watching them taking notes, practicing, you know, trying to have conversations with people, practicing listening, all that stuff, yes, it's very likely you'll get to where everything that the first episode promises, you will get there. And I've gotten some people actually who've contacted me who they did get there after finishing 100 episodes. In fact, the video you will see on my channel next Friday, so not this week, but next week, is actually somebody who used that video course to learn Korean. So you can kind of see how much can someone speak Korean after that, you know, that short, relatively short video course. I believe the whole course is like 14, 15 hours or something like that. So with just 14, 15 hours of instruction and more hours of your own practice, you know, you could reach that level or higher. That's the idea. So yeah. Let's see who else is asking things. Hamed asks, if you've just arrived, I'll go for another 20 minutes and then we're going to be stopping for today. Hamed asks, how many hours should beginners study Korean? That is a good question. As much as you can, but if you can't do a lot, don't feel bad. As a beginner, even the smallest amount of studying on a regular basis, you'll see progress. As you get to a higher level, it starts to become more necessary that you study, you know, for hours a day, like you've heard people talk about. But as a beginner, really just 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, you can quickly pick up a lot of phrases. You know, you can learn the alphabet in an hour or two. You can learn a few phrases in just, you know, another 20 minutes. So in the beginning level, it's really up to you, whatever you can do. And I think if you're able just to do a little bit, you'll feel results from that. Korea with kids. Oh, hey there. I've seen you a bunch of times on my channel before for many years. Perhaps talking to yourself if you don't have anyone to chat with. Yeah, that's a good example. I know Sophie is a fellow fluent Korean speaker who I interviewed on my channel. She said she would do a lot of practice thinking in Korean to herself. So like while she's going about the day, she's like, you know, she would get on the bus, 지금 버스 탈 거예요, you know, like kind of thinking to yourself. 카드를 찍어요, you know, I'm scanning my card, kind of speaking to yourself, thinking throughout the day of everything that you're doing. And that can help too. It's technically practice. So whatever you can get in speaking practice will be helpful for you. Would you suggest practicing with Hangul or romanization with always Hangul? Always Hangul. Romanization is really only necessary for a quick reference when you're learning Hangul. So like in order to learn Hangul, I might say like, for example, this sound is ta, ta. And you kind of want something in your head to connect that with. So you don't want to just hear it. You'll kind of want to think, well, is this like a D or is this a P or a B? What am I hearing? So in that case, you might want to write down something really quick, like, oh, this is kind of like a D sound. But other than that, I would say no, avoid it 100%. And never write down anything more than a single syllable with Hangul, with romanization if you're trying to practice Hangul. So like even while you're learning the alphabet, as soon as you've learned syllables, individual syllables, that's it. There should be no more romanization after that. Someone asked a good question. J1, just curious, what's the difference between 이따가 and 나중에? Both mean in English later. However, 나중에 doesn't mean soon. If you say we'll meet 나중에, you do not mean today. You actually mean another day, typically at least tomorrow, but it could be at least a few days later, or maybe a week later or a month later. So 나중에 it means much later, so not right now. 이따 or 이따가 is in a bit. So you can think of it as later, like as in the same day. If you say 이따가 to your, like I'll see you 이따 봐, 이따 보자, like let's meet in a little bit, you probably mean the same day. You're not going to say 이따 봐 and it's like 5 years later, you know, but you could say 나중에, later, and it could be anytime later. So that's the difference. If you mean like soon later, 이따 or 이따가, and if you mean 나중 later, much later, Billy, where is you? I think Sasa's trying to find me. I think Sasa's trying to find me. Hold on, let me check what number I'm at. Let's see what number am I at right now. 보자. 어디 보자. 여기가 13번하고 15번 사이. Here you can see I'm right here. 현 위치 15번, 13번. I think Saha actually came to find me. I think she's here somewhere. So maybe, I don't know if she'll appear in the stream. I don't know if she'll want to appear, but I think she's somewhere here. I'm like scared. I have to be careful about the Wolfman and Sasa. They're both lurking somewhere around here. Oh no. Ken Pens, I really need to practice my numbers. I have a good idea for you, Ken, and anyone else who is trying to practice their numbers in Korea. Count stairs. So when you're going up the stairs, start counting. You can do pure Korean numbers when you're going up, Sino-Korean when you're going down, or whatever, or just practice whichever one you want. It is so easy to do it because you don't need, it's kind of like an automatic thing. Anytime you see stairs, okay, you're gonna go 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. You know, you get 200 steps, and as soon as you get past a certain number, you know, you switch to Sino-Korean anyway. It's super easy to practice that way. And it also kind of helps motivate you to practice because you feel like, well, I'm gonna go up these stairs anyway. Might as well practice numbers while I'm doing it. So that's what I would recommend. In fact, that's what I did a lot. I would purposely go up and down steps just to practice. But you could, if you have steps anywhere, you know, at your school or your apartment or outside, use those. It's probably easier. But yeah. 좋아하는 음식이, I don't recommend using 뭐니 because it could be rude. Now, I'm not going to be offended because I'm a teacher and I made those mistakes too as a beginner. You would want to be polite and use the 요 form. So 뭐예요? 뭐예요 would be better. Someone asked me earlier about my favorite foods. I have a lot. Someone also asked, is there a food that I was too afraid to try? And the answer is yes, actually. There's something called 청국장, which I've never tried yet. And I never tried it originally because I was scared of it, but I haven't tried it now just because I didn't have a chance. 청국장 is like tofu, it's like old tofu bean, basically like natto, if you're familiar with Japanese food. It's like natto soup, kind of. So it's like fermented bean soup. And I heard it smells, it actually, not just heard, I have smelled it. It smells like old sweaty socks. I'm not joking. Really bad. But I like natto. I'm sure I'll like it. I'm sure it will taste good. But I've just never had a chance to try it. So I was originally afraid to try it. But now that I feel okay with trying it, I just don't have a chance yet. So we'll see. Yeah, and there also is a 청국장 place not too far from my apartment in Suwon. I just haven't tried it yet. So someday I'll get that. Check the time. I'm going to do live streaming just for about 8 more minutes. And then we'll stop for today. Someone says, I can't read your name. Natto is an acquired taste among Japanese folks. Yes, I've heard that. A lot of people don't like natto because of the texture and the smell and the flavor, like everything, pretty much everything. I think it tastes really nice and I like it. So I got interested in natto actually from Japan, and then I found out they have similar food in Korea. Sean Loeffler. Yes, I have been to Wonju this trip twice. I actually filmed 5 videos in Wonju. So I don't know, are you there? I was just there last weekend and 2 weeks before that. So yeah, I have a friend who lives in Wonju actually. And so I hung out with her like 3 times, and I went to Wonju twice. Song Maria, glad to meet you. I'm a Korean, your Korean is better. Where did you study Korean grammar? That's I didn't really do Korean studying in a traditional way, in the sense I learned it a lot by self-studying. So I was just using books and studying grammar that way. I think if someone asks where did I learn all my grammar, it would really just be self-studying, I think. Like, although I did take some classes, it wasn't really for grammar. It would be like, you know, a linguistics class or a reading class or stuff like that was my classes for Korean. Uma asks, how to learn Korean fast? You can move to Korea. Yes. Moving to Korea is going to be the fastest way to learn Korean. Attending school in Korea while speaking Korean in Korea, I think is the best way. Or just anywhere where you have to be immersed in Korean. So any sort of like language camp is going to be the best option for that. Dini, gracias para hacer el live. Thank you for doing the live. De nada. Any tips for improving listening comprehension? Listening, reading, I've heard, is a good one. Listening comprehension. By listening to a lot more. Oh my god. That scared me. Ladies and gentlemen, 사사입니다. This is my favorite Twitch streamer. She actually is she's stalking me today. It's okay. I knew she was coming. It's like, 깜짝 놀랐.
Hello.
인사해.
Hello. My name is Sasa. I don't speak English. Hello.
Actually, I don't know how much English she speaks. I've never spoken English with her before. 진짜 깜짝이야 정말. 그거 얼마나 있었어요?
네?
얼마나 있었어요 저기 나무 뒤에?
나무 뒤에 10초?
10초? 아 정말? Okay. That scared me. Yes, this is Sasa, and she found out I was streaming here today, and she decided to stalk me. So she found out where I live, and she's been following me for the last 3 days. It's kind of scary.
어쨌든 thank you.
Oh yeah. Why so thank you?
I give you anything. Okay. Wait.
What?
따단.
새우깡. Guys.
제가 좋아한댔어.
아 진짜요? 그거 듣고 있었어요? 제가 좋아한다고 하고.
땡. 소주.
Oh my goodness. This is her favorite. She drinks like water. 이거 물이죠?
물?
사사님 물이요.
아, yes.
이거 물. 와, 잘 마실게요. Awesome. I want to eat some of these. Do you guys know these? 새우깡.
새우깡.
These are shrimp chips. 먹어도 되는데. 안 돼요?
No.
Okay, just imagine they're very crispy, crunchy. They taste like shrimp, and they are salty. And these are my favorite Korean snacks. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
빈손인데. 자, 점심 살게요.
아니요. 제가 사겠습니다.
진짜요?
Today lunch plan is 돼지갈비.
돼지갈비를 사주겠다고 하는 거예요. She's saying she will treat me to 돼지갈비. What is? Oh yeah. Her Twitch username. CHSASA 맞죠? CH_SASA. But if you search 사사 in Hangul, 사사. Yeah. CHSASA right there. Can I pin that? 없나. Okay. Yeah, if you search Sasa and then 44, you can find her on Twitch. She's really popular.
No.
I'm her fan. I'm Sasa's fan. Okay. 한 2분 정도 더 하고.
wait. 빽.
Back? Oh my god. Oh man. Okay.
플리즈 글로브.
Oh my god. Okay. 잠깐만요.
플리즈 글로브.
이렇게 껴야 돼요? This is what happens when you invite a Twitch streamer to your stream.
Say 양양.
Yang. Someone's gonna clip this, I'm sure. Yang. Oh my god. So, does anyone have any questions? I will be answering your questions like this for a few minutes. No, 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 no. It's not. It's not like that. Would posting sticky notes around the apartment help retaining if no one to practice with? Yeah, I think that would be okay. Sticky notes will help you to memorize vocabulary, but I wouldn't say that sticky notes would be good for speaking. Oh, oh my gosh. This is, yeah. Thanks, people. 사람들 막 다 귀엽다고 난리 나네. Someone said, what should we call a... This is the announcement again. Someone said, what should you call a streamer if you should call them by their username followed by 님? So if you're talking with Sasa, it would be Sasa 님. Or if my username is Billy, you'd be Billy 님, like that. If you meet them in person, if you know their real name, you wouldn't call them 님 usually. You could call them like, you know, Billy Shi or Billy Sam, Billy something 님. Like that. 알아듣는 탁. Billy es buen amigos con Sasa. 우리 좋은 친구들.
아, 이거 땡클리.
처음 만나는 건데. It's actually our first time to meet. Any tips for improving listening comprehension? Listening and reading, I've heard, is a good one. Hold on. Just in case, if you can't hear, I'm going to go a little closer. Wasn't 4 a superstition number in Korean? Yes! 4 is bad luck in Korean. 4. So if you have 4 4s, it's very bad luck. 이 되게 안 좋대. 그 숫자. But for her though, it's okay. It's good luck for her. But yes, normally in China and Japan and Korea, in China, Japan, and Korea, it's considered to be kind of a bad luck number because in Chinese and as well in Hanja, the number 4 has the same sound as different intonation, but the same, or I should say different tone, but the same sound as the Chinese character for death. So because of that, it's bad luck. But some people will care about that. In some situations, you won't find 4 used very much. But these days, it's less. So you might not see a number 4 in an elevator, but some elevators use it. So someone asks, are you in Hangang Park? I'm actually next to Hangang Park, but in the same area called Sunyu Gongwon. Sunyu is an island. And yeah, you can see Hangang both sides from here. You can see both sides. 헐. 힌디어의 그 빌리란 말이 고양이란 뜻이래요. You said someone said Billy means cat in Hindi, I guess. So I guess I'm a cat. It's hard to take me seriously with this outfit, honestly. Can you recommend a Hanja book? Okay, I'm gonna go soon. Someone asked, what's the difference? 근데 손이 막 땀나 더워가지고 괜찮아요? Someone asked the difference between 닥치다 and 시끄럽다. Okay, 닥치다 is actually a verb that means like, you know, to shut it kind of. So it's very rude if you were to say that. 시끄럽다 though doesn't have to be actually that you're saying someone to be quiet. 시끄럽다 is actually the regular descriptive verb that means to be loud. So you can say like something is 시끄러워, 시끄럽다, even if it's not someone talking. Like if you don't like the cicadas, you can say 매미가 너무 시끄러워. The cicadas are okay. They heard me. You can say they're very loud. If you hear just any loud sound, it can be 시끄러운 소리, so like a loud sound. Doesn't have to be someone talking or annoying you. So if though you want to tell someone to be quiet, it's more common to use 시끄럽다. But if you were to say like takchida to use that, then it's very rude. So it's not the only way to say it, but it's one way to say it. It's quite rude though. It would be like saying, you know, shut your trap. It's really rude, so I don't recommend using that. Okay, this is definitely the strangest live stream I've ever done. Welcome to Korea. What brings you here? I'm only here just to film videos. Okay, I think that's good. Someone says, can you please ask Sasanim if she would mind if I post a photo of the two? Yeah, you can post any screen caps here. It's going to be on my channel anyway. Do Koreans smoke? Yes, a lot of Koreans smoke. You'll see that. Okay, last 1 minute for question, and then I'm going to go. Because I don't want to do streaming too long. It's been about 1 hour and 30 minutes or so. Let's see, just a couple more questions. Someone said, what? The dabbing. Is it difficult or impossible to hear a foreigner to get a job in Korea that isn't teaching English? It's difficult. I actually answered that question a bit earlier, so I don't want to do it a second time, because we don't have much time. Where can I get the full Korean beginner course? It is on my channel. You can find it. Just search for beginner Korean course. Go Billy, and you'll see it right there. Ya no sé si Billy is personal. Ya no sé si Sasa is personal. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I don't speak Spanish. Anyway, so thank you everyone for coming. 하하연 씨 소연 씨 스튜디오 하하연 씨 닮으셨어요라고. 응? 아세요?
모르겠는데요.
She doesn't know she doesn't know who that is. I don't know who it is either.
Sorry.
Billy, more like 고양이. Yes, that's right. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna stop here. My hands are like getting hot from wearing cat hands. Thank you everyone for coming. Again, here to check out Sasa. I'm actually going to do some kind of collab with her someday. I don't know what collab we'll do. We'll do some collab. So you'll definitely see us doing something together. But she does Twitch streaming like every few days. And I'm also in there too, so you can see me there. Thank you everyone again for coming, and I will see you guys again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.